Hey guys, and welcome back to Inindo, Way of the Ninja. This is part 2. We just watched our home village get destroyed, and all of its inhabitants killed. And now we're off to start the arduous task of inevitably killing Nobunaga, possibly the most feared warlord in Japanese history. Fun. I go here first because there's more medicine. If you have ever played an RPG before, there is no such thing as too many healing items. These are giant rats. In this first dungeon, you will encounter quite a lot of them. You're at level 1. This is also the only time they will ever be threatening, ever, in this game, is at level 1. Because pretty much, even when you level up to level 2, you're automatically at a point where they're no longer a threat to you. And that critical hit didn't hurt nearly as much as I thought it would. Because I just got one in of my own. And now, the search for more medicine. If you've ever played an RPG before, I know I've said this, but I'm saying it again. You can never have too many healing items. Ever. Like I said, giant rats are not a threat. This dungeon also has giant centipedes. Centipedes, in my ancient Japanese dungeon, it's more likely than you think. And it's an old internet meme, but this game actually predates the giant enemy crab. You thought the PS3 was the first system to have giant enemy crabs. Nope. Later on in this game, I hope we get to fight an actual one. I know I fought them before. It's funny to think about. This game predicted the giant enemy crab. Get more medicine. I'm not worried about the giant rats and giant centipedes. Giant centipedes give more experience than giant rats. What I'm worried about, very simply, at lower levels, is getting attacked by fellow humans. You can fight monsters and you can win against monsters, but at lower levels, if you get attacked by someone, run. Goodbye. Now that we have got all the medicines we could possibly get from this dungeon, let's try to actually make some contact with our weapon, shall we? We're going to go for that password. It seems rather ridiculous to me that the password is a one-time thing. So every time a ninja trainee graduated, they must have had to go into the dungeon and put the password back in. Put a new scroll in, and that just seems inefficient. If I were holding a ninja trainee school and they graduated, I would just tell them the password. Especially when you start wandering around the dungeon, fighting giant rats and giant centipedes, a segment that Heaven's Frogman in his Inindo Let's Play called Giant Ninja Pest Control. You get over here. This way to password. Yeah, real ninja-like, guys. Got the password. Getting in more battles. More rats. Noticed how short it took for the rats to become not a serious threat. I can kill them almost in just 2 hits. Eventually it'll be 1, and eventually I could just be in a battle with enemies and they'll be flanked by rats, and I'll be like, let's ignore the rats. It sucks to be the fodder in a video game, because the hero quickly gets strong enough to not even have to look at you. The Goombas must be like, Bowser, why do you do this to us? Our job sucks so bad. In this game, they're giant rats. Despite being the size of a Buick, they can be killed by a human who's not even a level 3 ninja. Or in this case, I am a level 3 ninja. And I'm killing something that's bigger than I am. You can't recruit partners until you reach level 7. If you try, they will simply tell you that you're not experienced enough. You can't get a job until you're level 15, or might be level 18. Some enemies flee for no fucking reason. Maybe they're smart enough to know that you've killed 30 of their friends. By the time I started working for Daimyo and participating in war and snooping and whatnot, I was already way past level 15 and 18. And these rats fleeing are starting to get on my goddamn nerves because I need experience points. I guess they fleed so they could gang up on me. Let's see. Death. Come on. Death. Well, almost death. Could be dead now. Come on, rat. Come on. More death. Some people dream of killing vampires. I dream of killing giant rats. This dungeon kind of sucks, so you really shouldn't stay in here past level 5. There are much better places to level up, like Mount Fuji. Ideally, I want to level up to the point where I don't have to worry about healing items. Now, throughout the game, you will always have to worry about healing items. But most dungeons you want to get through without having to heal, but maybe one time. Some dungeons have bosses. Mount Ontake is one of them. If you think that there's a boss fight up ahead, like if you see the only time you ever see characters on the overworld map when you're in a dungeon is when they're a boss. You see NPCs on the overworld map when you're in a village or a city, but that's a village or a city. You never fight in villages and cities. You only fight in dungeons. So if you see a character sprite on the world map in a dungeon, it means they're a boss. And you don't want to fight bosses until you can go through an entire dungeon without healing maybe one time. This is the highest combination of monsters that can give you the most experience points in this dungeon. 3 giant centipedes give you 21 experience points. Now, you will fight monsters like the Hydra, which give you such vast amounts of experience points that some of your early dungeons you will laugh at. And I'm almost out of time, so once I kill this giant centipede, I will end the video and wait for part 3. Okay guys, I'm ending the video.